So today's video is one that is very personal to me. The Sam Davis Monument in Pulaski, Tennessee is one that I've done a video on. Sam was hanged as a spy at 21 years of age. He was a part of Coleman Scouts, which was an elite scouting team for the Confederate States operating in Middle Tennessee. He was found on his person to have very sensitive, detailed notes of Union troop movement. He was asked to point out his co-conspirators. He would not do so. He said his faith wouldn't let him do it, and he was essentially the Confederates' Nathan Hale. He would rather lay down his life than betray his friends. The monument in town speaks to that. It does not mention the Confederacy. It does not glorify the Confederacy. It talks about self-sacrifice and a man's faith. But because we find ourselves in a situation where a country definitely needing change and needing to heal, part of that for many people is to tear down this history or want to move it to a museum, etc. Different than other parts of the country, Giles County, Tennessee has very much been opposed to any movement of the statue. And so 2 Saturdays ago, there was a March for Unity, which was the first part in demanding the removal of the statue and the renaming of Sam Davis Park. And I wanted to take you to that rally, so you're going to see some of the sights and sounds, and I'll chime in from time to time. We even had a drone flying overhead for much of the event. I did not see the drone when it came to the march itself, but it was definitely there at the beginning to get an idea of how many people were there. There was about 140 protesters and roughly 250 counter-protesters. Thankfully, it remained peaceful throughout. There was a walking contingent of the march and a driving contingent, and you see the driving group getting ready, and I'll show some photos of that as well now. And for those of you watching, you may be saying, well, Aaron, these are some good sayings. Why were there so many counter-protesters? Are they for white supremacy? And no, maybe some, of course, but the people that I talked to, the vast majority was they didn't agree with renaming the park, moving the statue. Pulaski has been a success story when it comes to diversity. The local chapter of the NAACP even asked for an audit of police records, and when they got them, it did not show any type of over-policing for people of color that they expected to see. A lot was done in terms of unity. There were several unity marches in the 80s and 90s in Pulaski, Tennessee. It was actually the original home of the Ku Klux Klan. And so tremendous work has been done to bring this city together over the years. And so this march kind of coming out of nowhere to demand that the city come together kind of struck a lot of people as odd, because the town essentially had, you can always work to improve that, but it kind of shocked a lot of people. And so that's why you didn't have more, I don't think, participate, including people of color. There wasn't a lot of people of color at the march itself, even though Kedron Turner, the person who put this together and had started a petition to move the statue, was the originator of this march. So it was very interesting, the feelings of everybody involved.
You get down there and have the sun. Golly, now you can see and hear what's going on.
Oh yeah, like a quota. Yeah, affirmative action. Exactly. You too.
No justice! No justice!
was a tremendous police presence all day, and I can't say enough good about them. They kept it peaceful. They protected the protesters. They protected the counter-protesters. They did a fantastic job.
People are armed. That just shows right there, guys, this country can reunite. Nothing's happening. And guess what? Our Second Amendment is being used and used properly. So, guys, my name is John Amlander. I'm actually running for alderman here in Pulaski. This is what I stand for. I stand for peace, what's right. Lost his life defending a black man from being killed. So guys, if you're going to be out there protesting stuff like that, please know your history, because I promise you, these people all around me do. Anyways, love you guys, stay safe.
Over here next.
At this point, some of the counter-protesters had been told that protesters were coming to throw paint on the statue. So you started to see people line up around the statue. That never came to fruition, and the march ended peacefully. So now I'm going to show some footage from the protesters' point of view.
bell. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on.
Yes, Lord. It sure is.
So, I won't keep you here long. Just a short message I want you all to take back with you as we're marching back up to the square. When I think back to where this local journey began, when I look back to the younger me 2 months ago, still dreaming and prophesizing what a small petition could truly do, I can only think of how long of a journey it has been so far to finally make it to this spot, in this place, talking to all you people. However, when I get lost in that recollection and deep thought, one other thought seems to joyfully, yet frighteningly, bring me back to the reality that I live in. That idea is that this very journey is not the movement, but it's rather the moment of movement. The idea that joyously makes me realize that this is not a monumental moment. There's so much more good, progressive work that is just waiting to be checked off the list that is change in the Pulaski, Tennessee.
Ashton, it's the Sam Davis statue that people are upset about. I mean, I'm here only seeing what's right, doing what's right, but I'm just here, basically they were doing Black Lives Matter, trying to explain the Black Lives Matter. Some people don't like to explain that, but that's basically what the march was about, and I think Keith was trying to tackle racism in this town. And I think one of the things he brought up was the statue. And
This a statue?
yeah, that's the statue.
I never knew we had one.